You're listening to the N2K Space Network.
What's the common denominator in security incidents? Escalations and lateral movement. When a privileged account is compromised, attackers can seize control of critical assets. With bad directory hygiene and years of technical debt, identity attack paths are easy targets for threat actors to exploit, but hard for defenders to detect. This poses risk in Active Directory, Entra ID, and hybrid configurations. Identity leaders are reducing such risks with attack path management. You can learn how attack path management is connecting identity and security teams while reducing risk with Bloodhound Enterprise, powered by SpecterOps. Head to specterops.io today to learn more. SpecterOps, see your attack paths the way adversaries do.
Today is April 10th, 2025. I'm Maria Varmazis, and this is T-minus.
T-minus. 20 seconds to LOS T-Drift. Go for deploy. Roger, roll.
Space ISAC and NASA's SCAN to partner on advancing space security, resilience, and innovation.
4.
Sirius Space has formalized its intention to partner with Reflex Aerospace to form a U.S.-based joint venture.
3.
Sirius Space is collaborating with Ursa Major on the development of a medium launch engine.
2.
Intelsat has become the first and only satellite operator to complete a satellite life extension mission.
1.
NASA Administrator nominee Jared Isaacman appears at a confirmation hearing before the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation. And today we're bringing you our chat with Oklahoma Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell on his state's interest in the growing space industry. So stick around for that later in the show. Greetings from the final day of the 40th Space Symposium in Colorado Springs. We've got a full show for you. Let's get into it. NASA Administrator nominee Jared Isaacman appeared in front of U.S. lawmakers yesterday, outlining his vision for the future of the U.S. Space Agency under his proposed leadership. Here's a bit of what he had to say.
On that note, NASA is the most accomplished and respected space agency in the world, but for all NASA's historic achievements, the agency is not without challenges. Presidents have called for a return to the moon and a path to Mars since 1989, and well over $100 billion has been spent without the intended results. Most programs, new telescopes, rovers, X-planes, entire spaceships, are over budget and behind schedule. And this is discouraging because when people look up at the stars and wonder what is out there, they want those answers today and not decades down the road. And I know it is not lost on members of this committee that we have geopolitical rivals moving at impressive speeds. It's imperative for our national security, our pride, and all that we stand to gain in exploration that we never come in second place. If confirmed, and with the support and guidance of President Trump and members of Congress, we will reinvigorate a mission-first culture at NASA with the following objectives. First, American astronauts will lead the way in the ultimate high ground of space. As the president stated, we will prioritize sending American astronauts to Mars, and along the way, we will inevitably have the capabilities to return to the moon and determine the scientific, economic, and national security benefits for maintaining a presence on the lunar surface. We will focus our technology development efforts on the world's greatest engineering challenges, such as the practical application of nuclear propulsion, so we can truly unlock humankind's ability to explore among the stars. Second, we will ignite a thriving space economy in low Earth orbit. By working alongside international partners and industry, we can unlock the true economic potential of space and deliver meaningful benefits to the American people, potentially even charting a course for NASA to become a financially self-sustaining agency. Number three, NASA will be a force multiplier for science. We will leverage NASA's scientific talent and capabilities to enable academic institutions and industry to increase the rate of world-changing discoveries. We will launch more telescopes, more probes, more rovers, and endeavor to better understand our planet and the universe beyond. If confirmed, I will work alongside and recruit the most talented minds this nation has to offer, and we will concentrate our resources towards achieving the near impossible, the objectives that no other agency, company, or institution is capable of accomplishing. We will do so, knowing the risks and the groundbreaking opportunities that lie ahead, because some risks, like exploring the worlds beyond ours, are worth taking. We will do this not just to expand our knowledge or strengthen our national security, but to improve all life here on Earth and inspire the next generation to reach even further. This is why America needs NASA, why the world needs NASA, because there is no more important investment than inspiring our children to build a better and more exciting future. And the best way NASA can do that is by delivering on our mission and ushering in a new golden age of science and discovery. And we will not fail. Thank you.
Isaacman went on to tell the Senate committee, "I am not a typical nominee for this position. I've been relatively apolitical. I'm not a scientist. I never worked at NASA. I do not think these are weaknesses. In fact, I believe President Trump found them to be strengths." He promised lawmakers that if confirmed, he would bring all of his experience to the greatest adventure in human history, the quest to discover the secrets of the universe. No wonder he's got such bipartisan support. Don't we all want to know those secrets? Intelsat has become the first and only satellite operator to complete a satellite life extension mission. The communications company shared that the Mission Extension Vehicle, or MEV, added 5 years of reliable service and global connectivity to the Intelsat 901 satellite and its customers. The MEV was developed by Northrop Grumman Corporation's Space Logistics and successfully detached from IS 901 after moving the satellite to the graveyard orbit, where the satellite will be decommissioned after nearly 24 years of service. The MEV first docked with IS 901 in February of 2020, nearly 19 years after the satellite was first launched. Following this success, Intelsat partnered with Northrop Grumman on a second mission in 2021, using MEV-2 to extend the life of Intelsat 1002, a combination that remains in operation today. The U.S. subsidiary of innovative space carrier Sirius Technologies has purchased 10 Ursa Major small launch engines. Sirius Space has also announced a collaboration with Ursa Major on the development of a medium launch engine scaled from Ursa Major's Arrowway model. The agreement follows the approval of a technical assistance agreement by the U.S. Department of State, permitting the export of certain technical data related to the Hadley engine. The engines were purchased by ISC and delivered to Sirius Technologies in March 2024, which was a landmark approval between American and Japanese space technology companies that was among the very first of its kind. ISC/Sirius selected Ursa Major to provide solutions for the development and testing of their ASCA reusable space vehicle in the United States, with an expected test launch later in 2025. The proposed development of that scaled medium launch engine will take place through 2028. Sirius Space has formalized its intention to partner with Berlin-based Reflex Aerospace. Sirius Space signed a memorandum of understanding with Reflex Aerospace at the Space Foundation's 40th Space Symposium here in Colorado Springs. The companies had previously signed a letter of intent at the Space Tech Expo Europe in November last year. This agreement formally establishes the framework to form a U.S.-based joint venture focused on delivering solutions to meet diverse customer needs while strengthening their presence in the global markets. Space ISAC has announced a partnership with NASA's Space Communication and Navigation Program, also known as SCAN. The initiative was also announced at the 40th Annual Space Symposium at the NASA booth. Space ISAC says it marks a major leap forward in advancing space security, resilience, and innovation. And that concludes today's Intel briefing. Head to the selected reading section of our show notes for further information on all the stories mentioned in today's show. We've also got updates on yesterday's scrubbed United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket carrying the Kuiper 1 mission for Amazon Project Kuiper, and financial updates from Karman Space and Defense. Hey T- crew, if your business is looking to grow your voice in the industry, expand the reach of your thought leadership, or recruit talent, T- can help. We would love to hear from you. Just send us an email at space@n2k.com or send us a note through our website so we can connect about building a program to meet your goals.
Secure access is crucial for U.S. public sector missions, ensuring that only authorized users can access certain systems, networks, or data. Are your defenses ready? Cisco's Security Service Edge delivers comprehensive protection for your network and users. Experience the power of zero trust and secure your workforce wherever they are. Elevate your security strategy by visiting cisco.com/go.sse. That's cisco.com/go/sse.
We're finishing up at the 40th Space Symposium in Colorado Springs today, and I caught up with one of the lieutenant governors in attendance at this year's conference just yesterday, in fact. Oklahoma Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell is the national chair of the Aerospace States Association's Policy Committee. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please tell me a bit about the incredible announcements I've been hearing out of Oklahoma in aerospace.
Yeah, we're really planting our flag on aerospace for the future. Traditionally, Oklahoma an oil and gas state, and we'll continue to be in some ways. We're a lot of natural gas, some oil, but over 45% of our energy now is off renewables, so that's a big story as well. But aerospace, defense industry growth, we have a number of military bases in Oklahoma, Tinker Air Force Base, Fort Sill, Vance Air Force Base. That's what a lot of folks in the military have spent time there. But we're now really in space innovation as well. So Dawn Aerospace and Agile are two big announcements for us. And really the microgravity research piece of it, it is something that we're really leaning into around our spaceport. So we have one of the 14 spaceports in the United States. I think it's the second longest and widest runway in the world. Burns Flat, Oklahoma, kind of in western Oklahoma, but right off major thoroughfares. So it's another story that we are telling here at the Space Symposium.
Yeah, Oklahoma has such a proud aero heritage.
That's right.
So it kind of just makes a lot of sense to move it with the space as well.
Yeah.
Can you take me a little bit on the journey about Agile and Dawn coming to Oklahoma? I mean, those are very exciting announcements.
Yeah, I would give credit to our ACES program and inside our Department of Commerce. So we care so much about aerospace and space innovation that we created a division in our Department of Commerce that all they do is hustle all day long trying to drive aerospace and space innovation in Oklahoma. So we met Dawn at one of these shows a few years ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
We go to the aerospace air shows around the country as well. So spent time with them at Farnborough last year. We'll be at Paris Air Show this year, where we're really going to be doing a big announcement with Dawn at that Paris Air Show.
That is exciting, yeah.
So, I give credit. A lot of people wonder, well, hey, do these trade shows really matter? Are you just exchanging business cards? Like, does it drive an ROI? And I can tell other states, this drives ROI, that this drives business deals
clearly
in states, and it clearly has for the state of Oklahoma.
What's your pitch when you talk to them? I'd love to know.
Yeah. Well, certainly our energy costs are something. And when you're talking about building a manufacturing facility, you need to heat it, cool it. We have some of the most affordable energy costs in the entire country. We have a technical education school in Oklahoma Career Tech System that is world class. So these aerospace and space innovation companies can directly tap into technical education, and our flagship universities, both OU and OSU, are doing world-class research. It really started with weather. We have the National Weather Center in Norman, Oklahoma at the University of Oklahoma, but we've really been leaning into aerospace and again, space innovation as well. Our engineering schools are some of the best in the country.
I was going to say, there's also what comes up a lot of these conferences is the synergies with the energy sort of consortium
No doubt.
as well. So workforce training, there's a lot of synergies there,
right.
so that's a great advantage as well.
And I would say this too, the culture of Oklahoma is aerospace, it is flight, as you said.
Yes.
We have a long history of space innovation, flight innovation. And so you can't just plop down an aerospace company or a space innovation company in a state where that's not their culture. It's not what their legislatures are investing in. And that's really the message that we're delivering to companies here is, listen, it is our culture and we're investing in it. And you can't do that anywhere. And I'd say lastly, just logistically, we're where East meets West. We're smack dab right in the middle of the country. Great rail, great highway systems, great interstate, great airport system around the state as well. That's very helpful of moving products out once we manufacture them.
Now, a bit of a segue. You are part of the Aerospace States Association.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've interviewed them in the past. I'd love to know why and what's it doing for you?
Well, listen, there's nothing more helpful to me than partnering and doing best practice work with other states that are in the aerospace industry, right? So the Aerospace States Association has been very helpful to me. And it's really driving the policy that we need to be driving in this country today, too. Again, the further investment from the federal government. I mean, I don't know if there's been a more important time, frankly, for states to be waving, screaming from the rooftops about why the federal government needs to continue to invest in our spaceports, just from a national security perspective. So I feel good and optimistic about that. But the Aerospace States Association has a whole lot of responsibility today because of the changing in administrations and making sure that, the Trump administration and our U.S. congressmen and women understand they need to continue to invest in this industry.
Absolutely. I'm curious about sort of any coalition, or maybe that's too strong a word, but...
No, coalition's good.
Have you been working with the other states in the ASA?
Yeah, regional corridors is kind of the other buzzword that we're kind of starting to use because these spaceports need to be working together. Yes, are they competing? Sure they are. But power in numbers matters, and not every spaceport is going to focus on the same type of space innovation. So, we want to make sure that with those regional corridors, maybe one is focused on microgravity research, and another one is focused on, rocket propulsion jet manufacturing and maintenance repair when it comes to engine repair.
Sure.
We do that in the Tulsa area. So that we're working through that, but those type of conversations have to happen with the Aerospace State Association. That's what they're there for. And those are the policy conversations that we're going to have the rest of this year.
If you had your druthers, what kind of policy would you like to see?
Well, again, it is that collaboration among states. And again, let's not overcomplicate it. Financially, a lot of the conversations, if I had my druthers, it would be making sure that, everything from NASA is fully funded. We certainly see the private industry when it comes to competition is good. We like that competition.
Absolutely, yeah.
But we want to make sure that NASA is fully funded with their missions, and our spaceports around the country get the help that they need, so that these space entrepreneurs of the future have somewhere where they can set up shop, and we want them to be setting up shop at these spaceports.
For businesses that are looking to come to Oklahoma, what are you looking for specifically? Yeah,
well, again, that micro, because of Dawn Aerospace and the flights that we're going to be able to, and multiple flights a day for that matter, so that microgravity research is something that we're very interested in. Again, agile over in the Tulsa area when it just comes to, the infrastructure needs, right? Of sending things out, whether horizontal or vertical, that's something we're looking at as well. So it's really combining our maintenance repair history that we're the maintenance repair capital, really, of the world, with the American Airlines facility that we have in Tulsa. It's switching again from that to, again, taking those payloads that everybody wants to take into suborbital gravity, into outer space, and I think those will be the companies. Those are the companies we've been talking to the last couple of days.
Exciting.
And those will be the companies that we talk to in the future.
Well, Lieutenant Governor, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for telling me all about what's going on in Oklahoma. I want to make sure I give you sort of the final word. Anything you want to leave us before we leave?
Well, listen, those that are intrigued and want to learn more, go search for Oklahoma Department of Commerce. That's a great central clearinghouse of all the incentives that we have. And you can connect with our ACES program inside our Department of Commerce and start the conversation today of why Oklahoma is the best state in the country for aerospace innovation.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. I appreciate it. We'll be right back.
Are you frustrated with cyber risk scores backed by mysterious data, zero context, and cloudy reasoning? Typical cyber ratings are ineffective, and the true risk story is begging to be told. It's time to cut the BS. Black Kite believes in seeing the full picture with more than a score, one where companies have complete clarity in their third-party cyber risk using reliable, quantitative data. Make better decisions. Reduce your uncertainty. Trust Black Kite.
Welcome back. And as you've probably gathered, because I've said it a bunch of times in today's show, today is the last day of the 40th Space Symposium, and the N2K team are, at the time of publishing, heading back to our three corners of the United States. Well done, Alice and Liz. You killed it. Another massive thank you to executive producer Jen Iben, who has held down the fort for us back home this last week so we can all be here. Thank you, Jen. And I thought I'd also take a moment to summarize our experience at this conference this year. So needless to say, we've had a number of fantastic conversations, especially thanks to our partners at AWS and around the symposium floor. We can't wait to share those conversations with you in the coming weeks. And I have to say, judging by what I've seen at the floor and the conversations that I've had, it's pretty clear that the space industry is definitely primed for what's coming next. We're seeing a lot of maturity in technical capabilities and business offerings that we haven't seen in the past years. And I thought it was quite notable to see the presence of established, well-known vendors from other non-space sectors that are bolstering their space offerings and making their presence known here at Symposium. It's pretty remarkable to see. So that is a step in the direction of space not just being a space-to-space conversation as much anymore. And with the, shall I put it politely, tumult happening in the United States right now, depending on your point of view, people are either holding their breath or bracing for impact. From the American point of view, especially heard from Space Force General Saltzman yesterday, things are trying to stay as much as business as usual as possible. From other entities, however, not quite so sure if that's the case. I have to say, Symposium has had an incredible international presence this year. I noticed many, many more European nations with their own individual booths this year. I think that may be a sign of some things to come, so keep an eye on that. That's it for T-Minus for April 10th, 2025, brought to you by N2K Cyberwire. For additional resources from today's report, check out our show notes at space.n2k.com. We're privileged that N2K and podcasts like T-Minus are part of the daily routine of many of the most influential leaders and operators in the public and private sector, from the Fortune 500 to many of the world's preeminent intelligence and law enforcement agencies. N2K senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our producer is Liz Stokes. We are mixed by Elliot Peltzman and Trey Hester, with original music by Elliot Peltzman. And a huge shout out to you both for really holding it down for us this week. Thank you. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Peter Kilby is our publisher. And I am your host, Maria Varmazes. Thanks for listening. We will see you tomorrow.
T-minus.
Looking for a career where innovation meets impact? Vanguard's technology team is shaping the future of financial services by solving complex challenges with cutting-edge solutions. Whether you're passionate about AI, cybersecurity, or cloud computing, Vanguard offers a dynamic and collaborative environment where your ideas drive change. With career growth opportunities and a focus on work-life balance, you'll have the flexibility to thrive both professionally and personally. Explore open cybersecurity and technology roles today at vanguardjobs.com.